Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my series with my lovely boyfriend.
Hello.
Where I'm going to be showing him Marvel Rivals character designs for him to analyze from an artistic perspective. Now, he's a comic artist, he's an art teacher, he's got a lot of insight, and I've been loving listening to him explain stuff about these designs and go into detail on them, and I hope you have too. Last time we did Namor, and Namor was not exciting. This time we're doing Peni Parker. And Peni is exciting, because Penny's got a really cool mech and a really cool design.
That opening intro, like the first thing that popped into my mind, and only older folks are going to remember this, cartoon series Megas XLR and the theme song for that. So my mind's just going, chicks dig giant robots, we dig giant robots.
Careful, you sing that too well and I'll get copyright claimed.
Unfortunately, no, only fans really care about Megas XLR. I don't think WB or Cartoon Network is going to come after us on that one.
So this is going to be a little different from normal because we've got Peni and we've got the mech, but the mech extends a little bit above the screen with the top of its head, and this is what happens when you zoom in. So, fortunately, I have an emote of the mech sitting with Peni.
So we get to see a little bit more of the mech.
Yeah. Also, fortunately, when you zoom in and turn it around, you can see her back because the mech goes somewhat transparent. Yeah. So, this is Penny's default design. Peni, for those who aren't aware, is from a very niche comic written and created by Gerard Way of My Chemical Romance fame, where it's an extended Evangelion reference all the way down to the mech. Now, those of you who may be familiar with Peni who aren't Marvel Rivals players probably found out about her from the Into the Spider-Verse movie, where she had a comic-accurate Peni design and a very not comic-accurate mech design. We have the opposite here. Peni is in a plug suit like an Evangelion character, which is not accurate to her comics design from what I'm aware, but the mech is exactly the comics design. So yeah, I'll leave it to you. Where do you want to start with this?
I mean, I feel like we should start with Peni, just as like the star character.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a pretty fun design. I like that they're using like kind of a big shape for the whole like middle and bottom half of her costume. And then they kind of have a lot of complexity in the top, so it's like very simple through the middle, and then the top is where we get like all the little bits and pieces and more lines and shapes and things. They almost made the front of her suit look like a bug face.
Oh yeah, kinda.
With the colors. And she has a little spider.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Also, a really fun play with color and using it against all the neutrals, because the bottoms of gloves are very eye-catching. So when she moves, it's like a really nice feature. Also, sorry if I'm kind of sounding kind of weird. I've been sick for a while, so I just find a little more weathered than usual. I thought I was a little bit better, but now when I'm talking, I'm just like... But anyway...
If you really need to, we can do this another day.
It depends. You want me to sound like this the whole time?
Let's go for a little while and see how you're feeling.
Because otherwise, feeling great, just sounding a little weird.
Yeah.
But when I was talking about the colors here, because we're using kind of black, white as neutrals, and then we have red and yellow. I always really love red and yellow and black as a color scheme. The only other color not in that palette is her eye color, and, you know, with it being on her face, a nice draw and focus color, because it's light blue. Not sure if that's what color of her eyes usually. I don't remember.
I have no idea. I didn't pay attention to her irises in the things I've seen her in.
I've seen the movie version of her several times, and I'm thinking, but she's so stylized that I can't remember.
Yeah.
But I really love that color combo. Feels very like motorbike, sports, fast, so which goes great with the mecha design they got going. They don't play a lot around with the suit shape very much. They give her like a little bit of shoulder pads and then the kind of the big bracelets, and the rest of it's just kind of straight up bodysuit, which is fine. I think it looks nice.
Mm-hmm.
And then I really like they're using big blocks of line because you have like these kind of gray lines along the throat that kind of split out, and then that makes the dark gray look like a big thick line, and then we have thick lines of red. There's not really a lot of like thin lines in her design until you get to her hair. Most of the lines or shapes are like really big, thick, chunky. I like it quite a lot. And then they kind of have this motif too, or like they change the shape language a little bit. So they have like lots of rectangles, and then they have like yellow circles that are kind of like a rhythm to up to her face. And there's a little bit of pointiness on some of the ends of the red shapes too, around the rib cage. But again, that's just like there as kind of a shape to make more of like a bug or V shape. Just a lot of repetitions and rhythm and patterns in like the whole design.
And you're right. She does kind of have a Kamen Rider mask thing going on with her torso.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of because I like the light gray around the shoulders too. It makes nice division with the shoulder pads. Kind of breaks that up a little bit. And then you have like the red pieces. It's really showing form quite well. And also, like, I think because she does look like such a peppy animated character, a lot of these are really nicely, there's a nice contrast in the way she moves. So, like, the light gray areas and the light yellow hands and some of the other things, like when she moves her arms or her hands, it's, like, really easy to track visually. Because those colors are really helping her movement stand out.
You may also notice that this is a substantially older Penny than the one that's in Into the Spider-Verse or the comics. In part because when they discussed how old she was, they kind of implied that they knew people would be weird about her, so they just made her 18. She is, however, a small Asian woman, so she's very short.
Yeah.
She is also shrunken down to contrast with the mech. Like she is not proportional to other characters when you use this emote in Times Square. She is not proportional to other characters. She's very small.
That's kind of funny. I also noticed that she has two hair braids on one side and one on the other. So it's like a slight bit of asymmetry, I believe. 'Cause I think it's just one. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they have like the kind of longer hairs to frame her face. This is a pretty different too hairstyle that they don't do. Excuse me. They haven't done anything like that very much, where they really play around with the shape of the hairstyle on women. I like the shape of it, just using like the little swishes to frame her face, and then the big ponytails, big chunky hair on the top. It's very different and very fun. Excuse me. And yeah, I also like the little spider detail too. It's really small, but it's very cute. So we should probably look at the mech next.
Yeah. You want to look at it like this first and then in the emote so you can see its head and the top of its shoulders, or...
Yeah, let's look at it this way first. It also has kind of like the face as the chest shape going on, which is looking really cool.
Yeah, kind of.
Because you kind of have like the white eyes and then like a big yellow eyebrows and then the sides of the face. Which is not very uncommon in kind of like the mech designs where they would do like a giant face and then have its own head too.
Mm-hmm.
I also kind of think it's neat how they played with the shoulders too, because this is a pretty lithe, thin character, kind of like the Evas are as well, but they bulked it up with having these big shapes on the shoulders.
Oh, yeah. You'll notice as we go through the recolors in the first costume I'm going to show you, all four of the main Evas, their color schemes are four of her costumes.
I mean, it's like, obviously it was like a huge inspiration for what they wanted to do with this character. Is like, what if, you know, Spider-Man, but also mech and also a girl. And then we get Penny Parker. And that's sometimes just how you play around with a design and make it a little bit different than usual. As you go, okay, what if we changed like two things? What do we get out of that? I don't know how to describe the shape. It's almost like a teardrop shape on the top, but rounded, like really, really round.
The shoulders or the body?
The shoulders. But I like it. It's kind of like almost like UFO shaped.
They flip down and point forward when she shoots.
Cool.
That's her primary fire, is her shoulder cannons.
And then that was kind of a nice upward V shape on the back too, with the way they done the torso. This is also, I think I was talking about some like mech design on some other character. I forgot which one, but I was like really disappointed they didn't play with the proportions more. And this is like a really great example of how you can play with shape and proportion. Oh, I think it was for that What If one for Ghost, or no, Moon Knight.
Yeah.
That's the one that it was. Because like you can see like they really round out the body and then like they cinched in the waist.
Yeah, because she's in that. Mm-hmm. Like, the spider mech is also shrunken down in gameplay to be about the same size as everybody else, but canonically it's like 18 feet tall.
And it's got like sticks for arms, but then it has like these big bulky, like, robot thighs. Thighs for days. But you can see,
some people are into that,
But you can also see like they're playing with this like gray shape on the knees, where they're having that muscle group go way farther up than it really tends to do, because it's a robot. It doesn't have to have human anatomy, but you can play around with the form of it mechanically and then kind of exaggerate. Also, like it's like hip joints are like literal ball joints. So, like some of the people who draw a lot of mech, they're like playing around with human anatomy as a design, but then they're using like mechanical design, so ball joints, hydraulics, and like sort of fitting that into the same shape language and form. Form is also really, that's something you'd have to pay attention to when you're doing mech design, because we have like these V shapes here, but they're very three-dimensional. And you have like everything else is like got a three-dimensional shape to it. Because when you're like soft and squishy, you can kind of get away more with just kind of feeling out a shape for it. But once you start getting mechanical design, that you just have to know your forms really well, or it's not going to look as good as you want it to. I also really like these kind of fins off the arms too, with like these kind of exhaust ports stuck out. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like a nice little detail. Kind of gives it another like kind of volume to the arm. Because again, as I said, like the front part of the arm is like stick arm, but then we have this kind of like wings almost. And I also like that the feet are not human feet. They're like little 4-point toe things. Mm-hmm. With like little guards on them. And even though the red part of the leg is very like human leg. Because you have like the top point where like the femur would be, like the calf muscles. And over-exaggerated kneecaps. I think my favorite, though, is I really like the repetition of the V shapes on the torso. It just looks really nice. Mm-hmm. And it gives, like, is essentially a very, like, cinched-in waist, but it gives it, like, these little ripples where the V shapes are created. We can go real quick and do, like, the emote views just to get, like, a whole view of the whole thing. Because then we get, like, a better look at the mask. I love the undercolor on the mask, too. There's, like, this white stripe under the eye.
Oh, yeah.
That's kind of cool and gives it almost like a makeup or like a more three-dimensional look to those eyes, even though they're completely flat. Because now there's like more of a cheekbone separation on what's otherwise a very like unhuman faceless mask. The shape too of like the little zigzag jagged edge on the end is really fun too. Makes it really flame-like. Or maybe even like kind of a little bit of battle damage broken look to it. Especially with the other cut in the eyebrow where there's like kind of these two triangle marks in dark gray. And then they spin around to the back. Oh, I just noticed some of the pieces move.
Oh, yeah.
At least in the emote they do. I don't think they were moving in the other view.
They weren't.
But that's very cool. But also is showing a lot how they're using these forms and pieces that are like, we have like the scapula, which are these red pieces, and we have like these back muscles, but they're not the same as human back muscles, because human back muscle will go all the way down to the pelvis, where this is like 3 sets of moving parts. But it gives a sense of like
back abs.
Well, it gives a sense of like this is a machine. It doesn't have to follow strictly human anatomy, but by having some parts of it and playing around with that, you do get a sense of like how this machine should move and why and how it does it. I also like the spider emblem on the top part of the back, and also that it's really hunched over, like, because like the head's like really far forward, even when it's standing, which gives it again another very exaggerated shape. I just realized the waist moves too. when you're looking at the front. Just a little bit.
Mhm.
Almost like it's breathing. It's pretty cool.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah, I like this a lot. Does she have a stripe on the side of her thigh? I just realized. Oh, kinda. It's like a little swish.
Yeah.
That just make a neat bit of
In both of her highlight colors.
It makes a neat bit of repetition though, because it's like on the arms, then under the rib cage, and then another red, tiny one on the hip. So it's like that. And then that also the swish is kind of mirrored in her ponytail too, which is a really nice way if you have like a lot of stuff going on. Is you use some kind of unifying element to make it all look like it goes together. So all of these have kind of like an upward swish shape to it. Also, lightning bolts on her shoes too.
Oh yeah.
I like that. Yeah, so like a lot of hers is like very big and blocky, a little bit of round shapes, but it's used more as a contrast. And everything else is like gentle curve or big block. I would like to know what the emblem on her side there says. It'd be kind of neat to know.
Well, hopefully a very nice commenter will be able to tell us what that says.
Yeah.
It might just say Parker Industries. I'm not sure.
Possibly. But yeah, I like the color schemes. Really nice. You pretty much just have warm colors and neutrals. I would say the gray is probably a little more blue-gray, which will make the warm colors pop a little bit more. Same with the white. It's like a very cold white.
Mm-hmm.
But that's just like, you know, if you have everything too harmonized with the colors, like if you use like warm yellow and warm reds and everything, it might just like look a little unexciting. Not bad per se, but you'll just kind of look at it and like our brain goes, I solved that too easy. But when you have like, you know, cold colors with warm colors, you're like, ooh, now like warm colors are all exciting now all of a sudden. And so that's a kind of nice little trick that is pretty common. The only reason you wouldn't do it is if you want something to harmonize more, and then you have a different color being your contrast. But yeah, I like this one. All right, we're good. Let's go.
All right, on to shop recolor.
Ooh, green and red.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's very common, Ryder.
Yeah.
With like the red scarf and the green, and oh my goodness.
Yep.
Because he's like loosely grasshopper themed. Yeah. It's really nice though. The cyan as a highlight color is a bit unexpected.
Oh, speaking of cyan, I regret to inform you, I took a closer look at Galacta in the Battle Pass selection screen. She does have a little cyan on her. Like little teeny bits of cyan. Not commensurate with the amount of cyan on her Herald skins.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, you're going to set me off before we even get started.
Don't worry, she doesn't have one.
Oh, thank goodness. I also really like that the red is very, like, it's red-violet almost in a lot of places. They still have a lot of warmth because they have yellow. So they have yellow in the green, yellow in the red, but a lot of the red, and like the green itself is a blue-green. You have like a blue-violet, so they're harmonizing those colors. And then using warm colors to kind of pop things out. But it looks really nice. Like, I just love, like, the joints here and the arm. And that deep, dark, like, red-violet. And then it gets really desaturated. Really desaturated towards the bottom, too. It's almost brown. Very nice control of color. Very sexy. I also like it on her outfit, because the robot has a lot more brighter reds. Also, I didn't notice the sticker before. Now I see the Game Boy sticker on the side of the...
I don't think that's on the default costume. Let me see. Oh, it is.
It just stands out more because on the green than it did on the red. She stickers her neck like a water bottle.
Yep.
Anyway, I was saying on the front of her suit, because she doesn't have like the bright red. It's very purple. And I think that looks really nice with the greens. Compared to like the mech. They make a nice pair. She doesn't have the spot color on her hands anymore. And the spider's like super cyan green. Cute. Some of the yellows there are getting really green too. And depending on the lighting, I guess. It was mostly on like the back of her hand. Because there's like one there.
Oh yeah, I see it now.
Yeah. I think it was just a lighting thing. They say like they didn't change her hair or anything, just like the costume. It's a nice recolor though. I could totally see people playing that one because it really looks super nice. I think it actually might be one of the best recolors I've seen on any costume. Because most of them are like, oh, it's cool, but blue. But this one's like, the colors are really dang good looking.
Mm-hmm. I've been learning Penny. I might pick this up at some point if I have spare units.
Because like just that red on the green, and red and green are complements anyway, but just having it in the blue spectrum looks really nice to me. And they kind of just dropped all the gray on her outfit. But I like it a lot. Kind of interesting they didn't play around with hers as much to get the Common Rider look, but I think that's okay because it still looks really nice.
Alright, let's take a quick look at the top of the mech.
Ooh, red emblem.
Deep Scarlet.
Mm-hmm. And so there's just a lot of hue shifting on this because the mech is metallic. So you have like this, the base color is blue-green, but you have like this shine of yellow-green and yellows, and you got yellow-red to purple. So they're using analogous colors basically to like blend and hue shift around. It looks really nice on this outfit in particular. Especially since they're doing everything on the bottom of the outfit is going to be way desaturated. So like the top of the outfit is just really singing as far as the saturation and contrast of the colors. Yep, it's just like really nice color scheme. They pretty much like probably put it down on paper and painted it just beautifully. It looks so awesome. Oh, and I also noticed just now that they did lighter colors on the arms instead of dark like on the other one. I think that looks nice. So again, I think they were kind of going for that Common Rider thing. So I think if it was all gray, it would look too robot. And I think bringing the light grays in makes it look a little bit more like the character that they're kind of riffing off of. I was reading what the costume blurb says. Olive skimmer. That's funny. I thought you were going to read it because you have a better voice.
My bad. Any sci-fi flick will tell you data glows green. To catch those cyber cowboys with dirty tricks up their sleeves, I've woven a cloak of dense data over my spider suit and become a stealthy cyber agent. Let's face Pixel Corp head on, shall we?
Love it.
Alright, she has one more recolor, which was in the second Battle Pass.
Blue Tarantula.
Which is the third Evangelion mech color. We'll look at her, the mech, first.
I was reading the blurb again.
Spider's latest aesthetic takes cues from the fabled blue baboon tarantula, a secret obsession of Penny's father. This arachnid, indigenous to the enigmatic Socotra Island, radiated a captivating, enigmatic blue luminescence across its form before going extinct in the 2070s. This remarkable spider captivated Penny in her youth, leaving an enduring impression that will remain with her always.
I was like that was really flowery on that. But anyway, I was just wanted to see what it was. But man, this is kind of interesting. Got like blue, minty green with like cerulean. Yeah, man, they're playing around with this really tight color scheme on this one. I think there's actually a little more value play than there is color, because the colors are cyan blue with a little bit of like a darker, more blue. Then we have a turquoise and a mint green, which is just a lighter version of turquoise, but a little more greenish. So it's really just like basically blue, cyan, green, and that's it. It's a very tight color scheme. So then instead we have more value. So we have like light green and medium blue and dark, like the dark gray, which is kind of, to me, a little bit purple reddish.
Mm-hmm.
There's a little bit warmer, but not in like, you're making like a dark red, but in that you took a purple, and purple is going to appear warm when you stick it against only cold colors. And yellow will appear a little bit warm too. So we have just a little bit of play there, but it's not a lot. There's also like a texture too, because it's like an ocean.
Oh yeah, I never noticed that
thing. It's on her costume and it's on the robot's costume.
I never noticed that. Of course, I never looked really close at this one.
Yeah, like the color, the blue is very one note almost with it. But let's get a bigger look just on the robot, especially because I think Penny has not a lot going on her costume. Ooh, I'm not sure I like really the bright green on the front.
Yeah?
It's too eye-catching to me. I think if it was like a little minty green, I think it would look a little better. But it's pretty much their only, like, focal color. So it's on the eyes, the center, and like, but the label is the brightest green on the whole outfit, so it's really hard for me not to look at the spider on the chest of the robot. And the green Game Boy's green now.
Mm-hmm.
There's even tiny little stickers up here, but I don't know what they are. Look like donuts almost, but maybe they're
might be Dango.
Maybe yeah, might be the coins. It's hard when they're that small.
She's got a sticker on the mech's right thigh too.
Oh, what is that?
That I do not know.
Oh, it's the good luck. They're usually red. You have a task and you get this little guy with one eye, and then you make a goal, and when if you finish your goal, you're allowed to put the second eyeball on there.
Mm.
It's supposed to be for good luck and to help get stuff done. I don't remember what they're called, but they're Japanese.
That sticker is on the other recolors of this costume.
Yeah. It's just funny, like the stickers I don't notice until I start really looking. I do like the filigree thing though. It's like really subtle, but I think it looks really nice.
Yeah. Once again, a detail you'll only see if you look at the model viewer.
I do kind of wish there was a little less like one note in the blue, because it's blue.
It is very blue.
You know, and like I think the green is supposed to give it some contrast, but the green is not really integrated in the color scheme that much. Because it kind of looks cool in the back of the arm here, but there's not really any other thorough lines that you can track. It might have been kind of cool if there was like, you know, like some cyber network green lines throughout the other parts of the suit to kind of tie it all together, but I don't see it. And everything else is just gray and dark gray. So I think it's okay. I don't love it, but it's okay.
Yeah. All right. To finish out the Evangelion trifecta, we've got her debut shop skin. Penny was not the only mech pilot in her story. She had a second one named Addie Brock, and the Venom mech consumed her.
Dang. They even changed the outfit too. It's not really like, it has like different shoulder pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Looks sick as hell though.
I'm not sure I dig the twin braid ponytails, but the rest of it looks great.
Yeah, it almost kind of looks like some of the cyberpunk stuff that used to be really big. But I think it would have been cooler if they did like full cyberpunk, where they had like they used to do this thing. They'd get like these like plastic, bright green, blue, whatever color they wanted, because they were neon, and they'd weave them into their hair, and so you'd have these big poofs of like cyber-looking stuff hanging off your hair. And I lived in the middle of nowhere and was mad jealous that I could never be anything like it. Because there just wasn't a scene like that. I was just my own little weirdo out in the middle of nowhere. But it's unique. I think there's something weird with one of the eyes, though. It looks like it's slightly smaller than the other. Is it just me?
No, I can see that.
Like, it's like squinky. And I don't think that's I don't know if that's on purpose. It's just kind of weird looking.
Probably because you're supposed to look at it from this angle. So they pulled a perspective trick, maybe.
Could be.
But yeah, no, that's straight up smaller than the other eye.
I also feel like, to me, I wish the makeup was actually more colorful, because like it's slightly gothic-ish, but it's just a little pale, and I'm like, would have been kind of cool if it was like straight up, massive purple or massive green, like green lipstick or something,
Mm-hmm.
Like she's already, I think, supposed to be like evil, quirky, but like the makeup is just too reserved. Especially when they keep the eye color, because they didn't really play around with that. They left it like kind of light blue. But that's just like my opinion, man. I do like the fingertips, feels like astronaut gloves.
Mm-hmm.
And the way that they cut the suit makes it kind of look like there's like kind of like this, like not like goo, but like it's like a weaving or something like liquid falling down because of how curvy it is. And it's like a little bit more in the style of some of the sci-fi outfits where the things are just a little bit rounder, but still kind of pointed. And then they cut the bottom of the suit pretty similarly too, but we have kind of like hourglass and then hourglass out and then back in. Kind of like spikies on the side of the legs because, evil.
Mm-hmm.
It feels like Dragon Ball Z type villain,
Kind of does, yeah. Very Frieza coded.
Mm-hmm. Where like none of the suit makes sense, but it's definitely a look. I also like the bigger, chunkier boots too.
Yeah.
Very fun. I love also that they changed the back of the robot to have this like big green like symbol 3D thing going on.
Oh, it's not just the back of the robot they changed. This is not a recolor.
Yeah, like, well, I was just looking at that's like the first thing I noticed. Oh, dang.
Yeah. Let's get a good look at the head real quick.
They're full of danger triangles.
Yep.
Yeah, the head's like a whole like scarab insect thing going on with pincers and squinkier eyes because again, danger triangles. Also like a big starburst shield, which would normally have like points on it, but they kind of like roughly cut off each point of that. But it's like at weird angles, so it's not like it's unhinged. Because it's like starburst, but like slap, cut.
Mm-hmm.
And then for some reason a laser blade or razor blade thing, teeth looking thing on one side. Like it's like an exhaust port thing, but it looks all very dangerous and sharp. And there's more razor blade shaped things on the arms.
Mm-hmm.
And there's another starburst kind of spike on the legs, and it's green. This is the kind of green I wanted on the blue outfit, I think. It's just like it's worked into the whole design. So,
Very nuclear green.
yeah, it's nuclear green, but also like it contributes to the form. Because even though there's a ton of stuff happening in this robot, because you can see the bright green around the waist, and you can see the shield pauldron is like one shape, and you can see it on the legs, that even if you lose kind of track of the arm, because the arm does blend in, you still see the robot. Because you see leg, chest, head, shield thingy at a glance, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you could get a chance to pick out other stuff later, but even sitting in this pose, you can pick out the body, which is what a great way to use a spot color like that. It doesn't have to be neon green. You can do like light and dark, like a lot of the light on the chest is doing the same thing with that light purple and everything else being dark, but the green just accents it more and makes it a little more neon, colorful, nuclear reactor looking. It's even on the inside of the pincer too, neon green. Very fun. I was gonna ask you to spin around to the back, but
Oh.
You already moved it. Oh, there's all kind of some spots on the back of the arm too, and they're also not stick arms anymore. They're like muscled, so the form has changed to look like, like biceps and triceps and whatever other muscles are in the arms. I don't remember. But yeah, I also like the jet engine on the back of the calves. That's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, this is like totally the same. This is a fun design comparison to the other one because it's the same shape, more or less, but changing the forms changes the whole mood of the whole character. It's very cool, even though it's like basically the same thing. Isn't that cool?
Yeah. This is a very good evil counterpart design.
Mm-hmm. And then maybe they're probably just trying to do the ponytails to keep it a little more playful because of her age and like the type of character she is. I don't know what her comic book counterpart would have been like.
I presume Addie would have been the same age as Penny, so that hairstyle makes a lot more sense on a 12-year-old.
Yeah, and it could be just them sticking to the script rather than reinventing the character, because
Yeah.
they're already telling you this is Penny Parker, but then they're like, actually, it's a skin to be like other character from her comic book. Trust us, guys. So they probably just didn't want to change the hairstyle if she already was established with this, but it's still very fun. I would have went a little bit more with the makeup, but that's just like my opinion, man. I love the like evil like 90s early 2000s villain vibe in her bodysuit, and the robot is immaculate.
I thought you'd like this one.
And I like the other one too. It's just like I think the shapes are really fun, and I think because they took away the spider emblem, I really think the shape on the back is really intriguing. It feels very like robot engine nuclear or something or other, right? Like it feels very mechanical.
I think it feels like it's looking at you.
Yeah, like it just feels like evil engine or some kind.
Yeah.
I think probably because it's clearly mechanical, but it doesn't follow a shape or form of any mechanical things we know of. Because we don't have like vaguely diamond-shaped mechanical lights or buttons or anything, you know? So it still feels mechanical, but it also feels a little alien. Wrong. It also has that staring at you because it's like two bright lights and then one like center line that's not as bright, so it does create this illusion of eyes, even though it's not directly a face. But yeah, this one's very cool. Trying to think if there's anything color-wise they did. I think it is like a pretty warm white on her costume. The silver is pretty neutral. I don't think it's very warm at all. It might be a little bit, but not by a lot.
That is a gray-ass gray.
Yeah, her suit is definitely more of a cream white. Like it's a little bit, not like a by a lot. It's just like a hint of it to give it a little bit of warm color. And then the purple is pretty desaturated overall, but it's really nice. So I think what they did is they kept pretty much every other color except for the greens desaturated. So then the greens get to be like, meow. Which if you're doing neon, that's kind of the trick of it. That you sometimes are doing neon, you're like, why doesn't this look neon? It's not working. It's just that trick of it is that in order to make something look glowing in neon when you don't have an actual light source, you have to make everything around it really desaturated or less saturated, or it just won't look like it's glowing anymore. And you can still do that because the purple does look very colorful in this model. But, you know, like they had to desaturate the purple to make the greens look glowing. It's just, you know, the way you have to do it. There's a little bit of play in the grays, because I think there is some blue grays, especially in like the more blade-like implements on the robot and the claws. It's not a lot, it's like a light blue, but it's like enough to make it a different material and a little bit of division. But yeah, this was very cool. I didn't talk about the green besides that it's nuclear, but it is just a very saturated green with some yellow green in it. Which is a great way to go neon, is like you start with kind of the one and then you go towards yellow or ramp towards yellow. So if you're doing blue, you go to cyan. If you're doing red, you go to magenta. You know, if you're doing green, you go to yellow. Because yellow is the brightest in value-wise of a color you can use. And you can do a little bit of white too, because I think it's like in the eyes. It's a little bit tinted that way, but yeah, I like this one. It's really good.
All right, up next, let's see. We're going to go with, I believe, yeah, this was our first shop skin, like, a few months in. This is a Peach Momoko design.
Whoa. I've seen some of them, but this one's pretty different. Is it like an Oni kind of thing going on? Yep. Yep, it is. What a kind of weird one to go with, and also a hard one to do. Not sure I'm a fan of the candy cane striped on the side.
It's probably a design element from like the things this is mimicking in like Japanese culture or festivals or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, it also kind of mimics the rope she's wearing on her outfit.
Yeah.
But it's such a huge area on the robot that it is a little eye-catching. And they went with like wood and stuff to kind of make it feel a little different.
Yeah, this is supposed to be like in lore a puppet that she created and gave life to or something. Hang on, does it say? In the yokai-infested Kirasaki Mountain, Penny Parker has repurposed her late father's lion dance costume into a wooden puppet creature with the mystically infused mud of the mountain. Many of the peaceful Tsuchigomo gathered to her and helped her build her clever spider chamber, concealing them as they patiently await the onset of the Hyaki Yagyo. I'm not sure what that translates as, but there you go.
Yeah, this one feels very different from the other ones I've seen. Because a lot of the other ones seem to have like a lot more use of large fabrics and repeating like medallions and stuff seem to be like really popular. And this one doesn't have any of that, really. It is a cute design. That was kind of like a little traditional, like, tunic in the pants and everything. The headpiece making her look a little more Oni-like. It's kind of got like the leg warmers.
Mm-hmm.
And a few ribbons kind of show like where their kneecaps are. I feel like this one's just not feeling as smooth to me as some of the other ones I've seen by her.
Her or the robot?
Her.
Okay.
Like, I don't know what it is exactly. Because like most of the red's on the top, except for some of the pattern on the leg warmers. It's kind of like medium of that like gray, blue-green on the and it's like medium on the leg and then a little bit larger on the tunic. It's just because there's not as much rhythm as some of her other designs, like where you have like this kind of repeating element to follow you through.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like something to me. It feels like there's not enough unity. There's some of it, but like not as much as some of her other designs. It is still very cute though. Let's see. So
Does she have anything interesting on the back? She has a big bow.
Yeah, that's like the way they tie it in the back. It's supposed to. Normally, you tie something. There's like sleeves on your kimono. You can tie them back with a loop. I don't know if it's the same kind of loop. This might be more the ceremonial kind. Oh, her tunic's actually short enough. You can her pants, her butt shows underneath her pants. Yeah. Oh, her little spider. It's just red. I do like the little dots on her eyes. And the longer hair.
I think the head's a little too bulky, is my complaint about her design here.
That could be part of it too. Like, let's zoom out for a minute. Like, maybe that's what the balance feels weird. Because she has, like, huge shape on the top. But there's no balance for that with another, like, shape. That could balance it a bit better. Like, you know, sleeves or big poofy furry shoes or something. Or, like, it says mountains too, which, like, part of it feels like she should be in the cold, but then she has bare arms. So maybe it's just, like, a lack of unity in a few ideas here. I don't think it's necessarily bad. I just feel like I'm looking at it and I don't feel like the wow factor of some of the other designs. Let's look at the robot and pay attention to what's going on over there for a little bit. The head on the robot.
Yeah, it's a little silly.
It's a little googly-eyed. Why didn't they just give it evil Oni eyes like the front of it? Or just stick to its kind of neutral bug eyes. I don't know. Let's do the sit emoji so we can kind of get a better look at the top. Because I feel like the top of the robot here is a little different than usual. It's the eyes on the I can't. It's too googly-eyed. Because, like, I'm thinking, like, if it were thinking, like, Oni puppet design, like, it should feel like stage and theater design. Because some of the costumes for that stuff just, like, rocks like hell. And looks, like, monstrous and cool and exaggerated. And it's, like, really, really awesome. And some of those they play around with, because, like, there's different masks. There's for Oni, there's, like, I think red and blue Oni. And there's, like, old man, and there's, like, old woman, and there's, like, a few other, like, very common masks that are just kind of reused in theater. And I think it'd be kind of cool if it was played around a little bit more, in my opinion. Because I feel like that's kind of, like, the idea here with the Oni mask.
Well, the thing of it is, it called it out as not, like, a theater aesthetic. It's a lion dance aesthetic. And
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it makes a lot more sense if you view it through that lens.
Yeah. I think maybe I went for the other one because it doesn't look like a lion mask to me, but I think lion dance might be different in Japan than the Chinese counterpart, which you see a lot more of online. I might have to go look and see what the differences are.
Yeah.
Or at least, like, it looks very much straight Oni than it does lion, but if it was lion, it might have been kind of cool to play around with the smaller mask more than as like a lion, because usually lion dance is a joint of 2 people, and they also tend to have more like fluff and stuff on the legs, so they can make it look like a 4-legged animal.
Hang on, I'm not crazy, right? It said lion dance. Yeah, late father's lion dance costume. Okay.
But I can see what it was going for. The wood texture is almost wood puppet-like, but it's almost a little too tanned, in my opinion. And I think it has some of the same shine as, like, the regular robot pieces.
Mm-hmm.
I think if it had a little bit, like, more wood grain or something in the texture, it would look a little nicer. There's, like, a tiny bit of wood grain, but I think... What was the one we were looking at? One of the Groots that was supposed to be tree textured, but didn't look too tree textured.
Looked like a rock. Yeah, the Guardians of the Galaxy movie one.
Yeah. I think like this falls into that category. Like it could have more texture, and I'm not sure what lane it wants to pick because it's definitely wood, and like you can see like on the shoulder piece, it's like carved like wood.
Mm-hmm.
But then you have perfectly carved pieces like the head, where it doesn't have any of that kind of rough carved texture on it at all. And so I'm like trying to figure out like okay, and like they probably could have played with the pauldron like little UFO pieces a bit more. I know they shoot rockets, but what if they were something more in line with the theme? I don't know. These bajillion more medallions on it. I don't know what it needs. Definitely, I don't think it's one of my favorites. It doesn't speak to me. I think it would be interesting to play around with something a little bit more. I think the bell's kind of a neat thing, and like it has some of this here. It's like polka dotted, which again is still like I can know it's not Oni, but I keep thinking that because the yellow kind of almost looks like the tiger skin thing,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not tiger stripes, so it's not that. So it's probably just a random design. The face on the front is kind of cool, but I think I forgot how cool it looks because the face on the top is so derpy. You know? Like, ooh, cool. And then it's like the thing in the middle. Oh, wait, never mind. Like, what if they extended, like, the eyebrows and then, like, the upper masked eye could be, like, flames or something? I don't know. I just don't know.
Yeah.
And like, there's a little bit of mechanical like in the joints because they kind of have like the up and down joints that some dolls have, especially very simple ones. You can see they're tied together with thread and stuff like a basic doll would be.
Mm-hmm.
I think also, personally, I think it'd been kind of neat if the red color was played around with a bit more because it's so uniform. It might have been neat to have like the edges of the arms or something have like battle damage or something, like the paint is fading or scratched off.
Mm-hmm.
Just to give it a little bit more variety. And like it could be scratched off and be like a lighter pink or something, you know? So that's all I think I can say on it. I don't know if I have enough cultural know-how to like know how to fix it or go in a different direction with it, but I think visually it's a little not as interesting as some of the other Peach Momoko designs that I really liked quite a lot.
Yeah. Okay. Up next, we have a Wasteland mech.
Cool.
I'll do a little spin.
I like his little bit of flashlight hanging off the front of him.
Yeah. This is, the lore is that she cobbled this together from Wasteland scraps.
You know, I think this is shows. Oh, she's got like a false leg too.
Oh yeah.
But I think this shows what you can do when you have a big shape because she has this like honking huge helmet on. But the rest of her outfit is also big and poofy. Like she has like a big knee piece and she's got big sleeves and she's even got a little bit of a poof on the bottom of the jacket. So she still keeps her body shape, but the clothing reflects the largeness of the other elements. Also, the hair is very cute. I like the way it poofs out of underneath the helmet.
Mm-hmm.
And they also showing that the helmet's volume is created by a lot of padding. The cat ears are very cute. Kind of shows what her being very playful. Buttons. She has Parker right across.
A bandage on her helmet.
She has Parker right across the front of her jacket. Which tells me she probably doesn't unzip it very much.
Mm-hmm.
Paintbrushes on her belt. That's cute. A lot of texture, but they also have like a lot of like desaturation on the bottom of the jacket, showing that it's all weathered and like the colors fading out and all these like paint splotches and a lot of warm. Looks like it's kind of like a lot of warm colors. So we have yellow, red, and purple quite a lot. Like especially red, purple. And they're kind of sticking with that color scheme too. It looks really nice. Yellow is a complement to purple, so it's a great color to make those colors kind of stand out and be brighter. And red is a complement. They're just using like the red with purple for like some of that braiding in the robot. And you know, like they're just like going value switching from purple to blue with the hair. So they're really just keeping close to those three colors: purple, yellow, red. Let's look at a larger view. Because it says she has like a false leg. She's got paint splatters all over.
Yeah, it's rare to see somebody who's like a physically disabled amputee in games and have it be like a cool aspect of their character design and all that. But here she is.
I also was noticing they have like big pouch here with the big knee brace, and then so it's kind of like this asymmetrical balance of those two pieces.
Mm-hmm.
I also kind of like the asymmetry too of like the belt kind of slides down on that side. And then you have like the one leg is really up high, the other pant leg is low. She's got like a little white bandage or something on the one boot around her ankle. Or maybe just a anklet, I'm not sure. It's white. And then let's go look at the robot, because from the back you can see already some interesting things going on.
Real quick, I'm going to give you a look at its face.
It kind of has a Bumblebee look.
Kind of, yeah. There were a lot of comparisons to Bumblebee
From Transformers, but it's really cute. I also like that there's cables on the top of the head too that are connected.
Mm-hmm.
But everything's very asymmetrical too, and like the small details, which is a great way to make it look all chunky and beat up and stuff. And look, they ever played around with the elbow or
it's a car door
with the little shoulder pieces. That's what I meant to say. Because they didn't play around with that at all in the last skin, and I was hoping they would, because I don't think it really fit with what they were doing. But this one's like a totally different one, and it looks really cool. It's kind of like a Gatling gun with a car door on it. So it still has the bulk. And then she gets to put stickers on the car door, of course. And then we have, like I said, it's purple and yellow. And I think this is doing a similar idea of with the neon green on the Venom skin, but in different shapes. So like, we have big purple knee pads and big purple arm pieces. And then like the neck is very separated from the rest of the body because it's very reddish, gray and everything. So you still see like the body of the robot very well in whatever pose it's in. One thing I noticed from the back is the exhaust pipes are different. One is chopped off and like bolted over, and the other one is like bigger and longer.
If you have something that's meant to be cobbled together, especially with like Wasteland Punk designs, it's very fun to see like all the little details that are asymmetrical and different and broken. Mm-hmm. And I think this really succeeds at that.
And they do a thing too where like they're roughly the same size, so they're not like wildly different, they're just a little different. Same with like these cables coming off the back, like they're kind of like, even the robot is kind of sitting off kilter. And I don't know if it stands off kilter too or not.
Let's find out.
Stands straight, but
yeah. Well, as straight as the Spider Mech gets.
Yeah, he's still like hunched forward and all. Still just discussing the back for a little bit though, because on the back there's like a little smiley face on this car part.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
And the two eyes are yellow and red. But again, still in the color scheme, because I just said, like, you know, they're using yellow, red, and purple, so they're not changing the colors, so even though they are different. And yellow and red are pretty different value-wise, so it is a pretty big break, but it still has enough harmony with the whole that they're putting together here. And then I was saying some of these braiding cables are like asymmetrical on the backs, like one's sloping down longer and the other one's shorter, but they're still following that same kind of rhythm. They're just like kind of like zoop zoop, but they're not like totally different. And then I think the legs are looking pretty similar on both sides, not like wildly different. I guess that one piece on this is actually, is it shorter or is it just the perspective?
I think it's perspective.
You sure? I think it's shorter. Maybe it is perspective. I don't know. The one leg looks longer. In any case, I like the little hydraulic coverings there.
Yeah, like the plastic compressed things.
Yeah, the compression sleeve kind of stuff. And they drew in a little bit of like bulk on the silver piece on the arm to give it like a little bit of an arm shape, so it isn't just too noodly. Because they already have a lot of big chunky parts everywhere else. I love the big purple smear on the front too, and then it has like this kind of like one of those like car, like bumper plate things that go on the front of some vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
And I just realized it is like one of its headlights that's popped out because the other one is actually in the body. I thought it was like a spotlight thing, but no, like it's literally just falling apart.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not on. That's great. There is a little bit of blue I just noticed because they have I know she did it in the hair, but the robot has it too. I just realized with the arm pieces are like lighter purple blue on the front because I was looking also at the dead light as blue. So that was a pretty clever way of getting that extra color in their color palette without putting all this disharmony in it.
I just noticed not only are the knee pads asymmetrical and different, there's a spider web on this one.
Nice. I was also looking at the eyes are kind of really more of a yellow green. Make it stand out from kind of the mustard yellow.
Mm-hmm.
And then I like that they went painty on everything, so they can just add a little bit of bright color here on the edges of things, kind of pulling pieces apart and separating them. And sometimes they do it a lot, like in the chest, there's like bright purple and bright blue, but it's really subtle on like the legs where it's just like kind of a wash or a hint of blue. Just to kind of give it a little bit of something something.
And you were asking about like the paint on the Peach Momoko design shipping, but it's very much, whoops.
Hey, she got like a cool jacket on the back too.
Yeah, she does. But like on the on its left leg, you see how the paint is worn off in places.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I think that texture would look really cool on the wooden puppet. Because I know it's like a thing, but it's also a mech, so it would have been battling. So there's just having some damage or something on it, I think might have been pretty cool. You know, showing that it's being used in battle. But I don't know. I like this one a lot more than the other one. And they're also playing around too, like the top pieces of like the Gatling gun looking thing is like one of those exhaust pipes with all the holes in it.
Yeah.
Oh, they even got on the back of the elbows too as a big like exhaust pipe shape. I also like that it's like halved in pieces too, so like the arms are like two halves that are like, and it's pretty consistent. So it's like a nice thorough line through the arm to kind of tie the mech design into it together really well. And then like they're pretty much exaggerating a lot of the muscles in the calves in a really fun way. I like that there's kind of this big bulky piece that comes off the back and it's like a little like cutout section underneath. Very not muscle shaped, but kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Hydraulics in the backs of the calves. They really do get to have a lot of fun with this one, don't they?
Yeah.
Because a lot of them have had different details for like the way this robot's put together, even though the silhouette is identical.
She didn't get many skins for the first like 8 months of the game, but she's gotten 3 like. Okay, so there's skin rarities in this because there's live service bullshit, and there's common rarity skins which don't have an MVP or anything. There's epic, which is purple rarity, which has an MVP and a nameplate and stuff. And there's legendaries, which can come with, will usually come with altered sound effects and optional ultimate VFX and sometimes alternate colors. The last 3 Penny skins, I believe, have been legendaries, and they're all in the last like 6 months or so. And we're gonna. I've saved those for the last 3 because they're pretty cool. I forget where I was going with this. Anyway,
I pretended to pay attention.
yeah, fair enough.
But in any case, this is a really cool one. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
Peanut butter jelly mech.
All right. Moving on. Mm-hmm. All right. So this is her Christmas skin.
They made a robot a snow golem.
Yep.
It's very silly, but it's also very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And horrific. They're terrible, and I love them. Let's look at what her outfit is, because she's kind of got like a cutesy little Red Riding Hood kind of look almost going on, but like really cutesy with the corset and everything. And the spider's like super icy looking. Mm-hmm. They kind of flipped it around and made some gold highlights in her hair, though, instead of the red ones that they usually went with. I guess they wanted the red to kind of pop out more, because they wanted like this very like snowy, nostalgic, so they look. So they give her like cute little cape. What's her hat like? Is it actually just like a little poof ball hat? Yep, little poof ball hat with curls in her hair. Mm-hmm. Very fairy tale kind of look to it. Looks like little bows on the bottom of her dress too, and lace, and yeah, this is just a very cutesy, wintry outfit. Mm-hmm. Very traditional. I like the big gloves and the way they're kind of like putting a lot of red in the top of the outfit, and then like the red boots kind of mimics her main outfit with it, where it's a lot more white on just the bottom. Mm-hmm. And then let's look at Mr. Snowman or Miss Snowman. Not sure what to call the robot.
I don't know the spider's gender.
Nick Snowman. Or snow something. The star is so bright. Mm-hmm. It's got like basically cartoon hat. I like the little snow piling up on the hat itself. And the big icicles for feet. The texture is really cool. It's really interesting that they were just like, the robot is all gone and it's just monstrosity.
Yep.
But it's also like, it has to be spider themed because it's Penny Parker.
Yeah.
So it's a snow spider with a cute, goofy hat and like little snow ice cannons, furnaces of magical death to destroy all those who don't celebrate the winter festivities. I wonder why they went with pink as the color. Maybe because like a CMYK color scheme. It's kind of interesting they didn't tie it at all in with her red and white outfit. Like, they're kind of the same color of white, more or less, but like they don't share any other similarities. You know, so besides being both winter themed, they don't look like they go together. That's probably maybe my only complaint, but they're both individually really cool designs. I wonder what's with the random, like, emblem spiral thing.
Snow golem tidbits, I guess.
It's the power of magic. But, you know, it's like, they do sometimes use some symbols, and I wonder if it has, like, a motif.
I think that's just supposed to be a cool design.
Yeah, it's also just... And also, like, the feet, they didn't keep it with the robot feet either. It's just spikes all the way around. It's just a ring of terror. Mm-hmm. I just imagine this thing comes up and it's like, do not panic, citizen! And everyone's like, ah! But it's delightfully awful. I love it. Also, the effect on the ice is really cool. It has a very neat texture. Shine to it.
Yeah.
It's basically that glow effect again. Like, everything else has to be desaturated, so they do like a dark blue. It's maybe slightly, but not very much desaturated because they want it very high key. And then they go all cyan, and then like a little bit of white for just the edges. There's some dark in there, but that's the dark is just there to make it everything pop brighter. I always wonder how they do these kind of textures in 3D, because I think there is a bit of like mirror effect or something they have to put on this to get that effect, because the colors change depending on the angle you're looking at the character at. Like things get darker or lighter or brighter. Very cool. And then the scarf belt has a cool texture on the tassels. The one in the back especially. Kind of like this little floof.
Mm-hmm.
And then just a little bit of goopy snow on top of everything. Tie it all together and boom! Abominable snow spider.
You want to see it sitting down?
Sure. You know, this one was kind of short enough to see pretty well. The hat's kind of where the head would normally be.
Yep.
Why didn't they do this with the Oni one? Apparently it was allowed the whole time. Take a seat. Oh, this is the name for the emote.
Yeah, it's a universal emote. Almost every character has a version of it if you got it. I think there are like a couple characters that haven't gotten it yet, but they might have finished giving it to everybody. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that was pretty fun. I think, again, my only complaint was that I wish they were tied together a little bit more, like, color-wise and theme-wise. Except for, like, the fact they're both wintry, but I just think, like, color-wise, they look very different. Because the red is so red.
Mm-hmm. Anything else to say about this one?
Mm-mm.
All right, this next one, I think you're going to like the aesthetic of.
Oh, this is for all the people who like Nightmare Before Christmas, isn't it?
Or Coraline.
Yeah, or Coraline. That's a teddy bear on a noose.
Yeah.
Why? Oh no. Well, she clearly has like the vintage, like haunted doll look.
Mm-hmm.
And they went with the button eyes, which is very Coraline. And then she also has like a mutilated teddy bear on her waist. The colors are very very low key too, like very desaturated red, brown, white, and not a lot else besides that. Oh, she has makeup on behind there too.
Oh, so she does.
Kind of black and gives her more of like an eyelash look. Oh, the spider is a pumpkin.
Yep.
Oh, the texture on the teddy bear is pretty cool too. It's like extra raggedy, fluffy.
It's got a stitched mouth too.
That's nice. And she has like double belts on her dress. Her dress has got some stitching too.
Oh yeah, so it does.
So they did play around a little bit with it to make it a little more demented. But very lacy, very like, you know, turn of the century vintage baby doll kind of look.
Her bonnet has holes in it too.
Does it? Where?
Up here?
Oh, it's like chopped out from the hat.
Yep.
Nice. Pumpkin spider. Well, the lace being a big ribbon on the bottom is kind of cool. I think she also has kind of like a spider emblem on one side of the dress.
Oh, so she does.
And it's a little bit stained. Like there's some like color goo, you know, like it's old, moldy. It's moldy. Very cool. Very good idea for haunted thing. Well, let's look into the mech, because my gosh, that what a creature. So the back had a coffin with a flaming pumpkin in it chained onto it with an enormous chain.
Mm-hmm.
He's kind of got a scarecrow vibe going on, right? Because he's got like kind of stuff with wood and straw. What are the elbow or the shoulder pieces? I keep saying elbow. It's like chains, and it's like a wheel with spider web and some kind of spiky on it, and the other one's like a potion.
Something. Let's get a look at it here.
Pumpkin cannon. It's kind of like a bottle shape. with orange in it. And a bunch of like hooks and bobs and things around it. And then the other one is, yeah, just straight up a wheel cannon with spikes and a spider web on it. Also, I just noticed that there's a big spike through the whole coffin because there's a spike on this end and a nail head on the other one.
Yep.
They wanted this pumpkin dead.
I mean, look at it, wouldn't you?
It lives. What's the front of the look like?
Full or in the sit down?
Let's do a little bit of the sit down and then we'll go to full. Because he has like this kind of big collar on his like shirt jacket, kind of framing the head. And the head is pretty cool. They kind of did it's like loosely got little spider mandibles. Then it's like all flayed out like tied up straw. But then it's around like a flaming pumpkin eyeballs. But they're asymmetrical too. Like one set is higher than the other. He's got the noose necklace and a little bit of like a red scarf. And then his old insides are on fire. He still has mechanical claws, which is really great with all the other metal effects. He also has some of the clothing breaking down and turning muddy, or it's not. Well, some of it's broken. Some of it's just mud. They've been walking around outside for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I like how his collar gets in the way of her. Like, all right, let's go back to the full view. In the front. He also has spikes for the knees. They're like big nails holding the knees together.
More asymmetry.
Yeah, like because one leg is totally chopped open and the other leg's more covered and stitched closed. And then it's all straw on the inside and he's burning the chains. Very cool. There's a lot going on with it, but I think what it is value-wise it's very controlled because like the arms are mostly white and he has this big white like collar on him. The flame orange is only in the middle and in the eyes, and the eyes I think it's a little bit brighter, especially one that really dark green or brown color.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have a lot of yellow, so it's like he's mostly dark around the legs and the outside where the chains and the metal pieces are at. It's a lot to take in, though. There's just
very complicated design, yeah.
Yeah, but I think that's how they are making it work. It's like because even the straw on the legs is very much value-wise. It's very similar to the pant leg, and there's a little bit even of like the shirt suit hanging off the front of it, creating like this kind of tailcoat look. That's hanging off the front a little bit of his wooden body. So you have pretty much like yellow, very desaturated yellow, brown. A little bit more of a warmer brown. Those are very similar in value and hue. Like it's just, they're neighbors essentially. So you have all these neighboring colors. So then you have the bright orange can punch out and the white is kind of like the big colors value-wise that can punch out on this design. And make it a little bit more palatable to look at because like, there's so many pieces. Oh my goodness though. Demented Scarecrow mech was not on my bingo card. And the thing is they're doing the big cartoonishly large pieces too. So he has like the huge shoulder pieces and then the huge like spoiler on the back. Is that even attached to anything or is it just like magneted to him?
Well, one of the chains goes into him, so presumably.
It is kind of just stuck on there like a sticker though.
Kinda, yeah.
Once you start looking a little too close. But it is very cool, and I like all the little tiny demented details, like the longer you look. This is one where I was like, I wonder where the haunted doll and the haunted scarecrow meet. You know, it's like, what does it say their story is?
On an A, at the collector's place, there's this really strange videotape. It's like it's got some kind of maho, and you just want to touch it. Well, when I did, my mind went poof, totally trapped in a dream. If it wasn't for Spider, I wouldn't have woken up. I saw the world's darkness in that screening room. We have to save them. There's a series of like corrupted heroes. You saw Moon Knight's. This is Penny's. Doctor Strange has one. Scarlet Witch has one.
Very cool. But yeah, this is like a very muted color palette overall. but it works really nicely with the kind of like this more Halloween, like dark vibe of this character. Yeah, I don't have a lot of notes. I think it's just really cool looking.
Cool.
And I think just being a scarecrow, misshapen character, it's okay for it to be a little more busy because it's not meant to be like a machine anymore. It's meant to be like this creature. So it can be a little more messed up, irregular looking.
All right. Well, one last costume, and I'm going to need you to close your eyes for a second because it's going to default to the alternate color. And I need to fix that. Whoops. Okay. We'll go back to this. All right, ready.
Okay.
So remember how I said there was a Namor had a Day of the Dead skin that was disappointing, but another character has one that isn't?
Mm-hmm. Oh, cool.
Yeah, the Mexican artist I saw react to this loves it.
Ooh, I like the way they shaped the back, too. Like this big, almost spinal column vertebrae look on the mech.
Mm-hmm.
Her dress is really cute, too. They did this kind of unusual thing that I don't see a lot from them, but they did this kind of like wave on the bottom hem of the dress, and it all hooks onto the one side. So it makes this kind of nice, kind of flowing thing. Oh, and there's like a spider on her back, too.
Yep, with only 6 legs for some reason, but...
I thought it was like a paw from the angle, like it looked like claws.
Kind of does, yeah. But no, it's a Halloween spider. This was her Halloween skin.
Cute. Also just the bright yellow and orange. Very beautiful. Very marigold. What's the spider? The spider's a little sugar skull.
Yup.
That's great. She's got the sugar skull makeup on. Let's say the colors we got, because we got purple, yellow, and orange, and then there's kind of like a blue, but it's very blue, not quite blue-green, but it's really more towards that. It's kind of a nice contrast color, because the purple is very high key towards red, because it's very magenta purple. So it really glows warm with all the oranges and yellows, and so you got like that blue is the very cold, goes well with the dark charcoal color. I also really like this kind of subtle texture on her dress, where it's like this kind of dark gray sash that goes over the shoulders.
Mm-hmm.
I like that repeating texture. A lot of spider web stuff going on too. It looks really nice. The bones on the dark part of the dress are really nice too. And like the other textures, like the lace. It's also on the leggings too, I just noticed, and more lace. And the repetition of that same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, should we look at the mech for a little bit? Yeehaw! Because I just noticed it's kind of like these spider legs on the knee pieces, but then there's like a lot more going on in the front.
There are spiders everywhere.
Has a very straight up spider face on this one. Not even like abstract, just like straight up. And then the bright orange. I like the spider abdomen being part of the centerpiece, and then all the legs kind of creating the torso. There's kind of almost a vague repetition of that in the, you moved it so you can't see, in the shoulders on the orange piece. See how it's kind of segmented?
Mm-hmm.
And then they went really for like a teal. I feel like that fits with some of the colors you would see traditionally. Looks really nice. A lot of warm purples. Technically this is a warm blue because they're doing cyan, teal, again more yellow. White's kind of their neutral.
Yeah, one of the things that she said was that they nailed the color scheme because it's supposed to be very bright and fun, as opposed to a more contemplative or dour thing that another culture might do for revering their dead. Because Day of the Dead is supposed to be a celebration. It's supposed to be, well, not quite a party, but...
it's like a remembrance day. So like
yeah.
Your whole family gets together and you go out and you go remember your family who's passed. And you eat food and you bring food for the offerings, and it's like a whole thing.
Yeah.
And then I want to see the side pieces here. It's like kind of a big spider
Let's-
shield.
Let's do it in this form.
Yeah, it's like the same shape as usual, but now it's more angled. Like it's more like shield-like instead of round and donut-like. And there's definitely like the big spider motif. It's like the white spider, but then like bright yellow legs. But in a pretty abstract way. I like that a lot. I hope they will play around with that idea in more suits. It's done a little bit here and there, but it's not been like a focus of their design. There's also some designs on the top of his head. It's really too bad we can't pivot him to see it, but it's like a painted orange thing on the top of his head.
Yeah.
I don't think we're going to get a good look of that.
That's the best look I can give you, sorry.
Unless there's like a bowing emote or something.
I don't think she has a bowing emote. Let me see.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, that's the Venom emote. That's the best look I can give you.
Oh, that one.
That's the one for the Peach Momoko skin. Oh yeah, there's a good look at it.
Yeah, it's like a flower shape. I'm also trying to pay attention to how they're doing the orange in this, because if you look at it, if you took a step back and look at everything, the middle of the whole mech is this very bronzy, reddish orange.
Yeah, let's go back to the full shot. Whoops.
I wasn't done.
Sorry.
Patience, man.
I thought this would give you a better shot to look at it and explain it. I'm sorry.
A heart. Anyway, the other view was good too, but you can still see it here. But since we got the top cut off a little bit, but in any case, the middle of the suit is this, like reddish orange, but the edges, like the feet and the tops of the shoulder pieces, are yellow orange.
Hands too.
Yeah, and the hands, like the edges of the whole neck are brighter yellow than the center, which is like a really unifying way to keep all those oranges have some kind of sense to it. It looks really nice. And there's a little bit of like a little bit of peach colored used here and there too. It's like you can see it in the joints of the spider, especially in the outline, where it looks like it's white because value-wise very similar, but it's orange.
Mm-hmm.
It's not used a whole lot. I think mostly just in that area, but I think they're just tying that spider together so it doesn't look too disharmonious with the rest of the suit. It has a little more form to the arms, but he still has kind of the stick arms because it's like stick and then some form. And then got the spikies on the edges of the arm pieces. Those ones are just kind of a straight shape though, compared to some of the other ones where they feel more like a piece that's kind of cut off the shoulder or anything.
Mm-hmm.
But it's really playing around with the abstract nature of what you can do with the mechs, where you can just put spikes on the shoulders and things. I really like the big back piece and this being this big, huge area of white. Looks very cool. Are the feet slightly different? Because I think you can see like the inside of the feet a little bit more than usual from the back side. See how there's kind of like a space?
Mm-hmm. They're the same general shape as the default skin, but yeah, you can see a lot more of the inner workings of the foot.
But yeah, and her outfit looks really beautiful too. It also kind of reminds me too of like beautiful dresses and things that people would wear. Oh, there's a monarch.
Yep.
I didn't realize because the angle was a little bit weird. Now you can super see it. Nice. Oh, and they did play with her eye color. It's actually purple instead of blue like they've been doing on a lot of the other skins.
Oh, so it is.
And she has a orange nail polish. I'm really surprised they didn't play around with eye color as much in her outfits, because they don't seem to be afraid to do that in a lot of other characters. But they pretty much left her eyes like light blue for like most of them.
Oh, she's got paint on the back of her hand and her fingers. That's bones. Hang on, you'll see it again when she brings her hand down.
Oh, cool. Nice. Yeah, it goes really well with the rest of her makeup. Very nice.
Anything else to say?
No, except like this one definitely fits the theme a lot more than the other one. But the other one looked cool, but didn't necessarily feel like a Day of the Dead costume. Like this one you could take out of context, show it to someone, and they'd be like, oh cool, it's a Day of the Dead character.
Mm-hmm. Well, she does have a recolor for this.
You gotta restart the video.
Yeah, if I hide the UI, it restarts the video.
Interesting. I guess they wanted to do one where it was like a little more or just straight Halloween color.
I guess.
Where it's just the orange and white and black. I think I prefer the purple a lot more.
Yeah, I do too.
I think it brings a lot to the outfit. Also, I don't really like that her whole front of her outfit is just primarily white. I think it loses a lot of the bone vibe quite a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And it, even if you could isolate her, I think it just makes that costume very one note because the only colorful thing is the head and the hair. And they changed the hair to blonde and orange. Why?
Yeah. I don't know why.
I could see going for like maybe like just the orange and stuff. I think the distribution is leaving a lot to be desired. I think I would have done like maybe the dress is black, but like the part what was black is now going to be orange, with like white bones on like the embroidery parts, or orange bones. That could be cool.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been looking really nice. Yeah, I think it's just the distribution that I don't like, not necessarily the color scheme, but just like the way they applied it. Let's look at the robot a little bit, because I kind of just like, you know, fell apart on her already. The spider looks kind of cool on the chest. It kind of stands out a lot less. But
Yeah, because so much of the rest of the mech is white.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's definitely a downgrade compared to the other color.
Fortunately, this was free with the event that the other color came with.
So they kept the teal cyan, but they didn't keep it very green teal. And they made the spider legs teal instead of yellow. Again, losing the spider motif quite a lot.
Yeah.
And I can say that they made the spider plush orange, but now it just looks like a weird bumper on her.
Yeah.
My spider spoiler. Yeah, I don't, yeah. This one's just like the recolor is value-wise to one note. It's not very well balanced. It blends into each other. Even if you're trying to disregard the character standing in front of another white character, and it's blending into that, on its own, the whole outfit blends too much, and the robot blends too much, and it's just not very good.
Yeah.
I think you could have used the colors. I just don't think this was the way to make it look the best it could have looked. But yeah. Otherwise, I like this costume quite a lot. I like the other color much more, though.
Yeah. Let's swap back to it. Okay, that's all her costumes. So let's look at her MVPs. We'll go back to her default costume for the default MVP.
Oh, that's cute. I like the graphic that they added at the end. Yeah, it's a cool end pose. Like, look pretty badass. I still really like the pop color of the lighter gloves on that outfit too. Mm-hmm. It looks really good, and like I said, she's a very emotive character with a lot of motion, and I think it just brings out a lot of the motion in her animations pop with that on her gloves.
You want to know a tragedy? Until the Sid emote, which came like almost a year into the game's lifespan, you never saw Penny outside the mech except in MVPs and the model examination screen. Yeah. In fact, I'm convinced that the Sid emote came about because they were trying to give people what they wanted and have Penny outside the mech. But yeah, that's her default. Let's do the Venom one.
Lasers! That's pretty cool. Very cyberpunk, very very cool. I like that they are also playing around with a lot of the weapons and attacks in that animation. You don't get to see Penny herself, but you do get to see the mech do a lot of cool stuff.
Well, that does make sense based on the lore, which is that the suit was an experiment and it consumed its pilot and merged with her. So seeing Addie outside the suit would be weird.
Yeah.
All right, next, Peach Momoko one.
They went very silly with it.
It's a pretty silly costume.
That done expression.
The little spider drones that come out of her spider nest ability match the ones she's working on here.
Yeah. Those are the same as the sticker that's on it. At least on her base outfit. I don't remember if this one had the stickers.
I don't think it does.
But it's the same, like, creature. Or, design, not a creature. I wish I could remember what they're called. I have an approximate knowledge of many things.
Alright, up next, the Wasteland mech.
Oh, this one they imply it's kind of remote controlled. Gee, what?
I know, right?
Honey, what have you done? I thought it was gonna be like a bit cooler or something because it's like, ooh, lasers, and then it's just like it vomited rainbows.
Yeah, I know, right? Like, what's going on here?
This is what happens when we follow the gay agenda. Otherwise, it's kind of cool. I think the ending is a little silly and weird, but yeah, whatever. It's kind of a silly costume anyway.
Yeah.
Not sure if that's what I want to see when I get MVP, but you know.
Yeah. Alright, and the snow one.
It's even more of a monstrosity than I realized.
Yep.
Also, its feet are snowflakes.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. Again, very playful. This one has a lot of animation to it as well. But yeah, it seems like with this character, they want to be a lot more playful and silly as compared to some of the other characters that have MVPs. I mean, there's a few kind of like more serious ones, like the Venom themed one, but
She's kind of not an inherently silly character, but a fun, peppy one, and that lends itself to doing silly stuff more, I think.
yeah. There is going to be something a little bit funny of like the grim future of robots fighting for their lives and snow monstrosity, snow fight. Like, how did we get here?
All right, up next is the corrupted one.
I wonder if they have the same designer do some of these ones. Because there's somebody that really loves these like spooky flashing effects. Like, do you think they're all animated by the same person? Be like, you know the drill here.
Yeah.
That's also pretty spooky that they spin it around but the head doesn't rotate.
Mm-hmm.
Also the weird bone, kind of, what would you say it was? Wind chime? It's pretty gnarly. Oh, it's even in a pentagram, I just noticed.
Oh, I didn't notice that. That's fun.
But yeah, this is actually a pretty creative take on what an MVP for these characters would look like, because they don't really have a story because they're made up for the game, and so it's just like, yeah, they're just gonna do unhinged shit together, and ta-da! It's very good. Because, like, I love her pose when she, like, comes over here and actually spins it. This one.
Yep.
It's just like, that's great. And then, like, the shadow showing, like, how violently he's spinning, because like I don't think you could do that if you were just showing the model itself to get that idea across. Like to show it abstractly really gets this sense of like, you know, spookiness across. It's very fun.
All right, and last we have the Day of the Dead one.
Yeah, they're doing like big party. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
So clearly Namor was setting up the party, and they were like, Namor, let's show you how the party's supposed to be done. Also kind of cute they went the, I don't know if the white guitar is like a motif or not, except that just white guitars look really awesome as hell. But I was just thinking, right, it was the kind of pretty similar to what was in Coco. It makes me wonder if they were also pulling on a kind of universal design.
I'll be honest, my only real exposure to Day of the Dead cultural stuff is Coco and this skin.
Yeah, I know some of the stuff, like they make a certain type of breads that are, and the paper that they show on the top has a name, and they make a bunch of those and hang it up everywhere. And marigolds are the traditional flower that you decorate and use for remembrance, and you bring them out to the grave sites. And like the places that really get into this as a phenomenon, you go to the graveyard, and everybody's like there. It's just, I don't know, I think it's really sweet, because I think everybody has a culture to have ways of remembering their families and people, that loved ones that have passed on, and I think it's a really nice tradition, because I think there's just a nice way of bringing everybody together and remembering together. So even if it's like kind of tough, you have people around you, and like that's not necessarily done in every culture in that way. But this is also a really nice MVP with the lighting and the goofiness of the robot kind of doing its thing and her dancing around it. Mm-hmm. One of the extra little spider bots just pops in for a second.
Yep.
And the down shot is really dynamic and like a lot of depth. Really nice.
Alright, so which of those MVPs is your favorite?
Oh my goodness. Let's see here. I can't remember which one that one was.
That's the snow one.
Oh, it was the snow one. So I'm kind of thinking in between probably here. Because it is a pretty cool one. I like the details on the weaponry. Also, it's just a really cool outfit. But I really do like the playfulness of the Day of the Dead skin. Like, there's also like a fun setup with the lighting. And also, like, it's also hard. It's hard to judge these when some of them get like setting and place, and other ones get generic background.
Yeah.
It feels like a bit of an unfair comparison, because this one gets a little bit of an extra ability. Like, that's a cute little motif of like the two characters represented there, and like all these extra like splash illustrations. I do think the movement on this one is really smooth, even if you discount the extras in the beginning, like this lighting bit and stuff. Like, this is a pretty nice, like, round cut here. And there's a lot of movement. I think it's very nice. I think I'm just gonna have to go with this one. It's just...
Yeah, it's the one I use too.
It's very playful, and even if I discount the background and stuff, animation-wise, like, it's just really playful. Mm-hmm. It doesn't mean, like, the other ones weren't good, too. I think the other one was also very good, but I think I'm just leaning towards this one. I think I just like the extra character that pops in at the bottom for half a second.
Mm-hmm.
And the movement's just very satisfying.
Alright, so that's your favorite MVP. Moment of truth, which is your favorite costume?
Ooh...
I think I know which ones you're choosing between, but...
Let's see. Because Wasteland was really cool. I think that was really fun. And I also really like the default.
The default one?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is a really strong design.
Like, I just really like yellow and red and black as a color scheme, too. There was the Venom one too, though.
You were really complimentary about this one.
Yeah. Because that one feels really cool.
Top tier evil counterpart design.
Right? Yeah. I still think I'm leaning towards the default on this one, though.
Really? Have we had one where you prefer the default before?
I had one where I was pretty close to choosing default, but I went for one of the other ones. But I like the candy color of the robot. I like her design. I think the design on the front looks really cool, like especially the helmet shape.
Mm-hmm.
I really like the recolor for this one quite a lot too. Like that one, it feels really cool. But I just like the red. The red's really poppy. It pops a lot. It also feels like the very Penny Parker-ish from like what I've seen of the character from the movies. Which was, I really liked her depiction in that one because, like, I think the shape of this suit in particular, like, I feel like this one is much more rounded and has a lot less extra going on it. So like, I just think this suit in motion is going to look really cool when you like look at it from the front. Like, it's just very streamlined. Does that make sense?
It does.
And the evil counterpart is cool too, but it's a totally different character in a way. And I like that one a lot too. So, but I think I'm still going with this one because I just really like the shapes of this one.
We've got our first default skin winner.
My personal preference is I like the Venom one, but that's just because I'm a gosh. And I like evil. But design-wise, I think this one is very strong. I like the little elements of, like, the shape and the form is really well represented. It's really clean. I like that, like, there's not a lot else that looks like it, because I think, like, the donut kind of missile launchers are looking really good. And I think her kind of bodysuit is really cool, too. Because the black piece makes it look like she's wearing this, like, small jacket. And I like the gloves, the pop color on the gloves. This is just really well designed, and I think it deserved #1.
Nice. All right, well, that's Penny Parker. Up next will be Phoenix.
Ooh.
Jean Grey. Don't get too excited. The Phoenix stand doesn't change that much in each costume. But she's got some cool ones. Not my favorite set of costumes, but it'll be interesting to see your thoughts. But yeah, that's going to be it for today. So thank you for watching, everybody, and thank you for doing this with me. We will see you guys next time.
Bye.
Testing.
Testing.
Testing
Boink.
my beard.
Yep. Boink, boink, boink. Ah!
Testing your patience.
Yep. Boink, boink, boink. Get you.